What is up, guys?
Boom, we're live.
Here we're live. It's Monday. We're back at it. My name's Austin. Got Brock, Griffin. This is the All or Nothing Show.
Like, oh shit, the wrong show.
Yeah.
If you thought it was different.
Awesome way to start the show off is Orange Sherbet. This is the newest flavor of Overcome, the second flavor added to the line here at GYMFLO. And we just cracked into a tub. Tastes nice and sweet, just like I remember it. Yep, perfect. And this is going to be something you could take standalone. This is something that's going to keep you recovering, hydrated, and blood pumping.
And the biggest thing, no stimulants. A lot of people, like even my client, they're like, how am I going to feel? Like, you're not going to feel like different per se. It's more just like the hydration, the electrolytes, the like performance from it, rather than like you're not going to feel jittery. You're not going to feel amped up.
You shouldn't feel it in your head.
No.
That shouldn't be like a head like, oh man, I'm buzzing type thing.
Yeah, so stackable with any product. Good for any time of the day, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
100%. But it's going to be going live. That just landed here in the HQ this morning, so it'll be going live this Thursday at 6 p.m. Mark your calendars, set the notification reminders, warn those taste buds. It's going to slap. But just wanted to throw that little shameless plug into the beginning.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah.
So what's good? What's good, boys?
Not too much.
Yeah.
Got tatted finally.
Yeah, I see that.
It was like a month or two ago we did the show we were supposed to, but then had to get rescheduled. So.
Are you going to put anything in that blank spot?
A wolf.
Yeah, a lot of people had questions because obviously it's not, you have to look on Instagram or something. It's not fully done, obviously, because we only had like 3 hours to work on it. And like, depending on how big a piece of tattoo you get, it's usually not done in one session.
It reminds me of that picture of the horse. Have you ever seen that picture where like the back leg?
Yeah, I have.
Super detailed,
it's all
and
fucked
then
up.
The front is like a little stick figure.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, but no, I'm super excited about it. I think it turned out pretty cool. And as like my veins in my hand, my hand it was like puffy, like a catcher's mitt for like a day or two, but now it's coming back a little bit. You can kind of see where he drew the lines to almost match where like I have natural veins and arteries and things like that, so they almost have this like 3D look similar to like my other one. But there's more to go in the hand. There's more to obviously fill in this open space. It's gonna be more of the body and the transition into like what's supposed to be like organic matter, or like venom or carnage from like Marvel-esque. And there's more detail to go in the mouth and shading and things like that. But happy to get that started. The thing that kind of sucks is the next appointment. They're so booked up, it won't be till January 3rd. But at least, it's on the calendar.
Yeah.
There's a chance I could get moved up if people cancel and things like that. So.
That'll be healed up plenty by then, too.
Yeah. So
that'll be the arm that will be the side for all of our 10,000 photos.
Yeah,
having to blink.
Yeah. Well, I told him I was gonna get actually better than yesterday tattooed.
Yeah.
Oh,
but
that's the forehead.
Yeah, no, that's what I said. Yeah, forehead only.
And I'm getting the X on my back.
Nice.
Crossing through.
How
much are they paying you for that?
Code Covington on the ass cheeks.
He'll be a captain at that.
Yeah, you'll get posted. No, they probably still wouldn't post it.
No, they
You
wouldn't.
got your whole body tattooed.
To see a fresh tattoo versus like a little bit older too.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure they'll balance out.
Yeah, it almost looks like so faded in comparison, but it's like it's really more the inverse. It's like this just looks so fresh. But it's healing. I feel like it's healing better than this one did. I don't know if that's just maybe in my head or it's been a while, but I feel like this one isn't getting itchy or dry as this one got that way. I think because it was cold as fuck outside. Like I remember I got this on like a Saturday, and like the next day I think was like a low of 20 that morning. So it probably helps that it's warmer, but I'm still trying to keep it out of the sun. But it's been good there. Like I was able to train arms Saturday. Sunday. I took Saturday off. I still walked on the treadmill and just like had like the fan blasting on it, so I didn't sweat too much. And then I did legs this morning. Just had to do like zombie front squats basically, and then it's doing pretty good. I'm gonna try and get a run in this evening just because it's killing me just to sit around. But I think it'll be all right. But
yeah, that looks good.
Noticing the watches on the other arm.
Yeah, it's
so
awkward? Weird. Oh,
they should have filled in that tan.
I know.
A little brown.
Yeah.
I know.
Faded in.
Yeah, the watch on the right hand is so weird. It feels ass backwards, but.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, but that's really the only update.
Yeah.
How far did you have to go for it?
Like to drive?
Yeah.
The place is down across from like the convention center in Richmond, so I had to go downtown. I had to pay for parking.
Oh yeah.
It's a shit spot.
Like off Marshall Street, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But
okay. Damn. Yeah, it looks pretty sick. And like you said, I mean, it healed pretty good. I remember the shit that I got right there. I also didn't spend a lot of money on this. It's like $40.
Looks pretty good though, considering what it is.
But like, I didn't care if it, like, I wasn't like, oh, let me wash it with the lotion and shit. Yeah. After day one, I left. I was like, all right, I'm getting back to it. I didn't act like I didn't even have it. And it's still there.
Yeah. I mean, I think depending on what it is, it can be fine.
If I spent a lot of money, I'd probably take care of
it. You spend a lot of money. Also, like, just being in an area you move a lot.
Yeah.
You know, it's just rather be precautionary. But
have you been doing the Wakanda pose?
Oh, no. But I feel like it will be kind of cool to have. It's cool that it's like a little symmetrical, but then also different in its own way.
Yeah.
But
you were too pussy to go down the fingers though.
I feel like I do want to do some eventually.
That'll
say 10.
Do more.
Do more. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 10,000. Nice. Yeah. I like that.
Yeah. I like that. So.
And then code Covington on the flip side. So you can do the boomerang.
Oh, you're interested? Yeah, so I can do. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Actually, the boomerang will be me mooning. You know, mooning everybody.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it'll be on your ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a pretty good weekend too. I haven't mentioned it really on the show, but
Grant Cardone.
Say what?
Grant Cardone.
Yeah. Call me Mr. Liquid over here, but I had been approached by my uncle like a week or so ago about this piece of property that's been in my family's name for quite some time, since supposedly like 1940. And he was like, "Hey, I'm about to start putting it on the market. Let me know if you'd be interested in it before I sell it to some stranger and just get rid of it." And I said, hell no, I don't want it. It's in Tappahannock, first off. There's not shit down there. I wouldn't want to live in it myself. Not because it's like a shitty place to live. I mean, it is right now, but the area sucks. It's nothing. So unless you're retired and a boomer, it'd be perfect. But that's besides the point. It went a few more days. My mom ended up hitting me up, and she was like, "Hey, Chuck, my uncle was like, hey, looking to get rid of this place. I'll make y'all an offer, a deal to like help y'all get into it, to keep it in the family, blah, blah, blah." I went down there and checked it out last week, and I was like, you know what, fuck it. It's going to take a lot of work, but I think it's doable, and I'm trying to think more long-term than just like, oh, what's going to, like the return, I need a return next month or next year. I don't care if I don't make any money in the next 2 years off of it. Eventually, this will be an extra couple $100s a month coming back towards me as we rent it, Airbnb it, whatever, and be able to use it personally whenever it's not rented. So I'm just trying to look at it that way. And then it's also an asset as well. Like, if we wanted to sell it, we're buying it for very, very cheap right now and way below market value or what it's appraised for. So even if we just wanted to flip it right now, we could, go out pretty well. But it's a good deal, so I decided to jump into it. A lot of work, though. I'm expecting like another 3 months minimum of every weekend going down there, at least in the morning until like noon, 6 to about noon or 1. I'm not going to try and stay the whole day, but go down there, do something with the yard. That's the main thing. The house isn't in rough shape. It needs a roof, but other than that, the inside just needs like new furniture, updated shit like that, and it's pretty much good to go. But yeah, that's what I pretty much got myself into this past weekend. It's pretty fun getting out there, ripping trees down, cutting grass, messing with the well pump, shit that I really haven't done in a while. So it's like cool to like do some man shit again, Yeah. Felt good. Break a sweat, carry around some tools, have some country blasting. Hot as shit. My pants look like I jumped in the river and hopped right out, man. I look like I pissed my pants. It was so fucking hot. Jorts. Yeah, well, I was afraid of them little, what do you call them? Briars, briar patch. Yeah, there's briars fucking everywhere. It's like Hell's Kitchen down there. I was mowing them things down. Yeah. Pricking my legs, going through all my gloves. You know what briars are?
That's what I asked, but now I get it. Yeah.
Like thorny bushes. Yeah. But yeah, it's been good, man. It was a good weekend. It's very exciting to see or remember what it used to be when I was young growing up down there and what it can be with, now the creativity, a little bit of work, a little sweat equity.
So I don't know if I missed this, but did you say your mom bought it or you bought it?
No, we're going in together on it.
Oh, okay.
50-50.
And then do you have to pay if y'all need the roof and stuff?
Yes. Anything, like we're getting it as is. So everything, my money, her money is going into it.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we're setting a budget monthly to put into an account that's going to be repairing the roof, ripping the trailer out of there. There used to be an in-ground pool there. It still is there. It's just not usable. Ripping that out, filling that back in with dirt, and all the miscellaneous shit like, if it needs, paint on some walls, whatever, furniture, shit like that we already know. But yeah, so cool thing about it is that it'll be in our name hopefully within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And from there, we'll have quite some time before we have to make our first payment on it, like with the mortgage type deal.
Yeah.
So, and with that being said, the mortgage is pretty low because we're getting it pretty cheap. So it's something we definitely both can afford and still be able to put money into it to fix it up type deal.
Nice.
So it'll be good. And hopefully we can get it quick, up and running within the next, hopefully 3 months, maybe before the end of the season. Probably not, though. Even if it's during the winter, maybe somebody will still run it. But
at least by next spring or something.
yeah, I mean, that'll be Airbnb it twice in a month, and that'll be enough to cover the mortgage, so it won't be, it'd be neutral at least. So we won't have to pay any money out of our pocket. It'll just sit there and hopefully collect value. Yeah.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Pretty cool.
Millionaire man.
No. Probably not. But, it's just a way.
Yeah, no.
I feel like so many people, especially my age and even younger, live outside their means and don't realize that they can do stuff like this. And even though, you might have to have a partner at first, like my mom is fortunate enough to be able to go in with me on this, because I wouldn't be able to swing it by myself. I just know not with GYMFLO, the money I put into this, the money that me and Sarah save, the money that I just buy on miscellaneous shit, I probably wouldn't be able to do it by myself. So it's fortunate to be able to do this. So, the opportunities there, I'm taking it, and that goes for anybody else out there. If there's even smaller opportunities to make more money, to be able to get to an opportunity like this stepping point, you need to save up, live below your means, well below your means, live like you're fucking broke, and then you should be able to stack a little bit of money to be able to jump on an opportunity like this.
And not to be too intimidated by something challenging like this.
Yeah, I was scared shitless.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck a house. I don't even own my own house yet.
Yeah, but I
I'm
feel
renting.
like what stops a lot of people from making a big jump, even if it's like a small online retail Shopify business or something, is just that intimidation of like, oh, I can't do this. I'm just, Joe Schmo from whatever. I don't have that much money, but it's like, a little bit of time, a little bit of learning, lessons learned, mistakes made, but you get there.
Yeah, 100%. I'm still scared. It's like, fuck, we don't even know. Like, we haven't gone through the entire house to see exactly. Fuck, the foundation might be gone, whatever. But we'll take it as we go. And like it said, at worst case scenario, I'm not trying to have a plan B in my head, but we just know that the property itself would be able to flip and make money on it. So even if the fucking house caved in tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
what was your weekend like?
I pretty much just did chores and yard work all weekend, honestly.
Nice.
Because the problem sometimes, especially having the push mower, and it's basically 2 acres worth of yard to cut, is if it rains, the grass is too wet to it clogs the mower basically. And so a lot of times, even if it's morning dew, it's a little bit too wet to even cut in the morning. So last week when it was so rainy, I wasn't really able to work on it. And so then this weekend I was like, okay, well, it's a little bit hotter, but at least it's dry. But it had gotten tall enough in the rain that it was still clogging the mower. So every 5 to 8 feet it would just and then shut it back off. I got a blister from pulling the chain so many times, but that took me about maybe 4 or 5 hours, I want to say, just pouring, dripping with sweat, and then just weed eater and just other stuff like that too. And then my dad had given me some yard furniture, and so I was just working on it was kind of dilapidated a little bit as far as just sitting in the sun for a while, so I just kind of sanded that, stained it, stuff like that. And then other than that, made the Costco run, meal prepped. I will say, I don't know if y'all, I feel like you do have it, but honestly, rice cooker, I still am appreciative of how great this thing is. Because I don't know, the biggest thing that frustrates me is I make it boil over so many times on the stove, when you reach boiling, that then it runs into the burner.
Yeah, and then you got to clean that shit up.
Oh my gosh, what the heck? So something about the rice cooker, it's just perfect every time.
It is.
And it's nice too to just hit the button and then just be oh, well, I can just work on other stuff and not even pay attention.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah, so but yeah, honestly, maybe it's just because it's been hot lately, but literally every day spiders everywhere inside.
Inside?
Yeah, like I
Shit.
went to go grab my phone off the charger. This big a spider, like right next to it.
Fuck.
And this is on the floor in the bedroom, like
Yeah.
right next to my bed. And then yesterday I went to start meal prepping. This big spider on the stove. And then the other day too, I went to go take eggs out of the fridge, and I thought it was maybe just like dust or like dog hair or something. When I opened the fridge door, another spider, and it's like, I'm not safe.
Motherfuckers are saying it's too hot outside.
Yeah.
You ever
So,
seen that movie Arachnophobia?
Yeah.
I try to caulk. I try to
Yeah, how
like
old
seal
is
it
it?
up.
It's
They
probably
still get in.
1991,
It's got to be old.
90.
'Cause I remember seeing that when like
early 90s.
Tremor.
my grandma would
Yeah.
watch me, and
It's around that time.
yeah, they gave me so much just arachnophobia. to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Like I was shitting my pants.
Those motherfuckers eat
yeah.
people.
They were doing that. They were crawling out of like the sink, and oh man, 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Must have been a good movie. Yeah, 1990. I knew it was old.
Damn.
One movie that
Yeah.
kind of scared me was called The Descent. Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, it was this group of like, I guess they were like backpacker, like caver kind of
Yeah.
person, and they basically go into this cave, and then they get too far in, they kind of get stuck and can't go back out the same way, and then there are these like creatures that are in the cave,
Oh,
almost
fuck.
like a golem or something like
Yeah.
that, from this like race of people that have
haven't
like,
seen
yeah,
the outside world.
Yeah, that like hunt them. While
Oh,
they're
fuck,
in the
like eating
cave.
'em, yeah.
Yeah. So, and
Would
then
you
I think
recommend
at
it?
the end of the movie, it was like a good like plot overall, I would say. But at the end of the movie,
Oh, you better spoil it because I feel like I might
okay.
want to watch
yeah,
it.
go ahead and watch it. So
Oh.
it's just
You
a
can
nice
tell me
twist.
later.
Yeah. But
Where'd you watch it? Netflix?
this was back when I
It looks
had
like
this
it's
like
on,
horror movie binge for a while, like when I first moved out of the house.
Yeah.
And it was on one of those like 1-2-3 movies websites.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I just would like find streaming services.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I have to check that
I
out
like
too.
a good horror movie. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It had good ratings too. So that's
Shit.
why I
Yeah,
was
I think you'd like it.
Okay.
It's a different kind of twist. Like, it's sometimes I don't like the like possession horror movies or like other things,
Yeah.
but that one's a good one just because it's like a different kind of
I
scare.
like the creepy kind of like eerie
Yeah.
thriller type movies. Yeah, I don't really care for the jump scares or like, oh, there's a demon, you know.
Yeah, like the Michael Myers type things
Yeah,
and the
something like that.
fucking the exorcism things. Like you can only
Yeah.
you can only swap that so many. You can only twist
Yeah.
it so many times. You know what I'm saying?
True.
It's a point where you're just like burning it up. But the jump scares, you can always make me like, oh shit.
Yeah, those are annoying. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, but they are. But at the same time, it's
Oh,
like,
I mean, they get you.
You
But I feel like
motherfucker.
it's a
Yeah.
cheap shot, you know.
I know, especially with that like violin.
oh, you
sound.
hear it
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah,
you hear
when
it coming,
you're like, oh,
and
Yeah.
fuck.
it gets you every time.
Yeah.
But that sucks, man. Yeah, I don't know what to suggest about those bugs. Besides, I mean, a bug bomb, but then you'd have to like wash
yeah, have
everything
you
in
maybe
your house,
sprayed the perimeter?
like
I
the
do
outside.
have like a spray. I did hit the outside of the front of the house.
They're coming to
Maybe
the ground.
spray some on the
Honestly.
inside too.
Well, the weird thing was I noticed this weekend. Okay, you remember the wasps too?
Yeah.
That they stung me. So I've used like 2.5 cans worth of wasp spray like in the hole that I know they are because they're like behind the siding. And then I went to do something in, that kind of separated room I have
Yeah.
that I hang like the clotheslines in that room.
Yeah.
Went to do something in that room, and I see that they're all on the floor dead. So I'm like, there must be some sort of hole in here that connects like the outside too, like
Yeah.
to where they couldn't get out the same way that I had been spraying in, but then they came in through the house instead. So it's like,
I can
my
only
gosh.
imagine how many fucking holes are in that house.
I
like,
know,
that you don't see.
Just got to tear it all down.
Yeah.
Start over.
Start anew.
Burn it up.
I mean, who knows what other shit's living under the house or in the attic?
My
that little
dad
crawl
was
space.
like, I'll never go in the crawl space.
Hell no, dude.
I already found 2 snake skins like this.
You might as well
in
knock
the
it down,
walls.
flatten it.
In the walls.
Yeah. Oh, in the walls.
Yeah. They're
Oh,
everywhere.
fuck, man.
Cemetery in the
While
backyard.
he's sleeping, there's just spiders crawling and snake just slithering around.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I wouldn't. If I had to take a piss at night, do you get up and take a piss at
That's
night with the
probably why
lights
Buddha
off?
doesn't sleep. That's why he
I-
sleeps here.
Well, remember I told you one time I did. I was going off my phone flashlight. There was a mouse in the toilet.
You get drowned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's so scared of the place he killed himself.
Yeah, I know. I'm following suit. But I will say, like, you know, my closet, it's like very small, like this size.
Yeah.
And it's like pretty tall, you know, to where you can't really see up into the top of it. It's like one of those old closets.
Yeah.
Got that like musty old smell.
Yep.
But I'm always like, I don't know what's in here. Like, I'm gonna reach for my shirt and that's it. Like
a
I'm
hand,
closing
a
that
hand
back
comes
up.
through and
Yeah, it's like
pulls you in.
goosebumps. So
Damn,
yeah,
dude.
it's been interesting through these different seasons to kind of see like.
Yeah, at least
what
when it's
goes on.
cold, you know most shit's dead or like not coming out that much.
Yeah.
Or not as much.
So yeah, this has been like definitely an eye opener as far as like, you know, I used to live more in like a country area, like rural area. We had
Yeah.
like 2.5 acres or so, but at least like my dad had built the house, like it was relatively like new when we lived there. But I will say, like, especially for something like this, I'm realizing like summer in the country sort of thing, like all the critters are out to play, like everything just gets so like overgrown,
Yeah.
weeds, like just crazy. So I know what you're going through with some of this stuff too,
Yeah.
especially with the briars and stuff too.
Fucking A. Like nobody had been down at that house, the one that I've been working on, for at least I think 5 or 6 years. And just pulling down there, shit being already shoulder tall, like in the front yard to where you could barely see the house and trailer back there. I was like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And you can't even like, you need to bush hog it, but I was like, I'm not paying somebody to bush hog it.
Yeah.
Went and bought that weed eater, and it took me like an hour and a half, 2 hours of weed eat, like the size of this room.
How
It was-
often did the plastic break?
Oh, dude, quite a bit. Yeah, because I was chopping down, you know, within all that shit, there's like little baby trees growing.
Yeah,
You're
they're too
slicing
thick.
those things. Yeah. It was a mess.
Trust me.
But
Yeah.
got it done.
Nice.
Yeah. But it was good, man. It's been a good weekend. And so far, hopefully, it's going to be a good week here. Not only with the launch of Overcome, but hopefully getting back into training a little bit. Because
Nice.
I feel, some days I don't feel 100. Like either I feel like anxiety hits me a little bit, chest gets tight, breathing, a little difficult to breathe, but then I'll get warmed up. Like this morning, I came in here early as shit, and I was like, I might just take the day off again. I worked outside all weekend. But started getting the motor like turned up, got a sweat going.
Were you gonna hit legs and then you switched over
Yep.
body?
You saw me on the hack squat.
Yeah, I was like,
I did like
I could have sworn he was hitting legs.
a set of lunges down and back, and then I got on the hack squat.
You
and I
got
was
the
like,
leg extension too.
yeah, I did that to try and warm them up, and my legs felt like they were 200 pounds apiece. And I was like, you know what? F it. And that's when I almost called it. I was like, I'm going to go sit in the office, whatever, make a newsletter. But then I was like, you know what? Let me just try and do something. So I went over there, got on the flat bench, and damn if that didn't click. Within like 30 minutes, I was feeling pretty good. And then like my chest, I felt like opened up. My breathing was better. Like, I don't know. I think I had to work out the cobwebs, you know? Some days are
Yeah.
like that for me, at least with lately all the shit that
Because
I
you
went
didn't train
through.
this weekend, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I stayed stupid hydrated. I'm sure I'm still a little dehydrated, but I did crush like 2 gallons of water a day.
Cleanse.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little juice cleanse.
Yeah, a little juice
Did you have
cleanse.
any overcome doing the yard work?
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
I saw it on. I think your mom. Put it on
Yeah, she
Facebook or
posted
something,
it.
yeah.
About I had like a protocol. I'd crush like 3 to 4 bottles of regular water, and then the 5th one would be a 1 scoop of Overcome.
Nice.
And then another 3 or 4 bottles of water.
Reward.
And then, yeah. And I was like, and I got to keep like the balance of like electrolytes and over like peeing out too much shit.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, which regardless, it didn't matter what the fuck you were drinking out there. You were getting your ass beat.
Yeah.
I
It was
will
hot.
say one thing that makes me think back to that, different than the water bottles, but do y'all remember how good it felt to drink out of that like Gatorade cooler, like the
Oh,
orange
yeah.
and
Oh,
white
dude,
cooler?
it was
where
the
you just,
coldest.
like,
That shit would hurt your teeth. It'd be so cold.
Yeah. Football practice,
Yeah.
yeah. Baseball, yeah.
Just lay
that
under
shit
it.
would be cold.
I know.
Yeah.
They don't make them like they used to.
I know.
No cooler would get that cold.
Yeah, Yeti and
Yeah.
you.
Fuck, right? Right?
Yeah.
And it always like it just hit different, man.
You
it
would
would hit
have
your
to
soul.
get real low.
Yeah.
Like you'd literally be on the ground because it'd be sitting on like
Oh,
a
yeah.
bleacher.
Got bleacher or a
Yeah.
bench.
Or a bench, yeah.
But that shit would hit different.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, you'd be waiting in line.
I almost feel like we should get one here. Just
Yeah.
load it
that's a
up,
good
fresh ice
idea.
every day.
Yeah.
No
Hit the
AC,
cooler.
Hit the Gatorade.
Hit the
Yeah,
cooler.
that should be.
Fuck. Yeah, I like that.
I was watching a Fuad Abiad or whatever.
Yeah.
Or I know he does. He posted a video yesterday. I was watching this morning of his little gym tour. He probably has a space like, forget the office space here, and then take down the walls like that size. So like a smaller size too. And anyway, it was interesting to like see the machines he chose and things like that. But then I was like, while I was here, I sipped my coffee. I was getting ready to train legs this morning, so I was like, let me find like a one of his athletes like hitting legs or something, just something to watch. And pulled up this random dude, a little corny, but anyway, he was training or whatever. But one thing that resonated with me, made me feel better, was he owns this gym, I think with his girl as well or someone else, and his buddy said something, I think, about like the temperature, so he went and looked at the thermostat. I was like, oh no, it's 75, like feels kind of warmer. But he's like, but anyone that all the gym owners out there know how expensive it is to keep this place cool. And I was like, I know. I was like, I feel that. Yeah.
I bet. There's I follow a few other gyms that are almost like warehouse style like this, of like either other companies own or have like in their own company, like other supplement companies that have their inside gyms. And this one guy, I forgot his name. I don't even remember his Instagram name. But he almost takes a picture of his thermostat every day, because I think he doesn't even turn the AC, like attempt to turn it on. He says, fuck it, and he puts like devil horns on it, because it's fucking usually like 87, 89 degrees.
Next year is
90.
Get rid of that little fan and get 2 bigger industrial fans
so you can
to
have
like put on the floor. And probably put it like, the problem is that electro outlet in the corner towards the freeway garage doesn't work.
Oh.
But maybe we can get that to work, and then put it like there. Maybe crack the door open a little bit so there's some like flow out and in or whatever. And then have another one like back here.
Yeah.
And just, I don't know, some way that I could either like never have the AC on or very rarely have it on, but still keep it like a moderate temperature. Because it is a motherfucker. And then for the heat, it's like, I don't even know what to do with that. Maybe we could get like a heater in like one room that would heat it enough. I don't know if it would be cheaper than having the heat on.
Well, last year the emergency heat got cut on a couple times.
I know.
That would rape you.
But even when it wasn't, like even when we corrected that, like it was pretty bad. But I would say cooling it this summer has been even more expensive than heating it during the winter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I feel like people can get warm and just put on clothes during like when it's cold as fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want it to be in like the low 40s like it's been before here, but at some point at least you can like layer on clothes, but you can only strip so much in here and it's still fucking hot as shit.
Yeah.
And
the air like to squat sometimes or do something heavier. It's almost like being a fish.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. Like wintertime, I remember some mornings it was cold as fuck, but you were able to like at least like get some blood flowing. Yeah, you could almost pull your sweatshirt off and rock a t-shirt and be fine, Yeah. But I'm hoping that I get back into some training this week a little bit more. Get back on the bike, because I didn't do that much at all last week, besides a little bit of the stationary bike. But get back into some mileage, hopefully. Have a few doctor's appointments actually set up here soon. And actually, let me take this. Talk it off, yeah. I don't know if we're going to cut that right there, but took a phone call, a little piss break. We're back.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been feeling weird with, like getting back to like the training part is like, ever since I went to Sarah's parents' place, I've had that day getting back to like last Sunday, Monday. I felt a little bit tougher, like not harder to breathe, but like I noticed at some points throughout the day I have to make a conscious like effort to like breathe a little bit deeper than normal. And I don't know if that's anxiety, me just overthinking shit, or just being stressed, The top of my skull has a weird sensation, and that could be like just a tension headache or some shit. I don't know. Ever since this fucking blood clot, I've had more like, not anxiety attacks, or I guess you could consider it that, but not like full-fledged where I'm Britney Spears cutting my hair off. But I'm like
hyper aware.
Yeah, but I'm like, oh shit! I just felt the pinprick in my arm, like I must be dying.
Yeah, I feel like you kind of end up playing a little bit of mind games. With yourself.
And that was literally just a call from the hematologist, because I called them. I was like, "Hey, is the new prescription I'm rolling, is that supposed to make my scalp feel weird and like this and that?" They're like, "No, we don't think so." And she was like, "I just called this person. They think you're overthinking." I was like, "You know what, bitch? Maybe I am, but do something about it."
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But no, she was real nice. So don't mean to call her bitch. I take that back.
Lady.
Yeah, lady. Clip this part of the show and email it to them.
Oh shit. Yeah, but what else is new?
I've been Maddie and I've been preparing to move because my parents are selling their house soon. So
what's the dealio on that? They sold it yet?
It goes on the market, I think, like this weekend or near the end of
Is
the
it
week.
weird to like think of your childhood home?
Yeah, a little bit. There's been so much like that they've had to. So a stager came in and like told them things they need to do, except I think it's a little bit of bullshit because one, there's enough downstairs that could be swapped out and modernized, and she didn't say anything about that. But guess what room needed to get things moved? Our room, coincidentally. I think that's a little bit of bullshit.
I think that might have been something
and
they talked
all
about.
they wanted us to do was like, basically, we have like 2 nightstands, like one on each side of the bed. We're supposed to put only one nightstand in there, and the other one we had to move somewhere else, in like a closet.
Is that a thing? Like, you're
And
not supposed to
then
have 2 nightstands?
I don't know. And then the dresser, we had to move that from one wall to the other wall, and then get rid of our big tall mirror. So that's why that's in like our office for now.
These people.
So it was kind of stupid. And then she took like the like family room upstairs and basically just like swapped it. So where the TV's on the opposite side, chairs on the opposite side. I'm like, you get paid for this
So
shit?
this lady or man or woman?
Lady.
Woman
Yeah.
is judging the way y'all live.
I guess so. But anyway, so a lot of stuff's been going around the house, been selling a bunch of shit, sold a bunch of old Game Boys and things like that.
I saw that.
Still some stuff available, selling an Xbox today, things like that. But anyway, so Maddie and I are actually moving closer to the gym. We're going to be like 5 minutes away, which will be good. But with part of that is I'm kind of looking forward to it in a way because I have to find a new spot to run at that's close by. And I was looking on Google Earth, and there is a stretch that's probably like maybe a 2-3 minute drive from where we're going to live that I park maybe like around this area. Maybe I can run to it. And then it looks like a 3-mile stretch down to like a shopping center that's all sidewalk. That should be pretty like runnable and relatively flat, which would be pretty nice because that'll be a good like 6-mile or less route I could run. And then another thing I'm going to try and do since I'm close over here now is go more often to Port Farm Park and try and do some trails around there a little bit more often. Get more into like doing actual trail runs and mix those into my like road running workouts and things like that. So I got some trail shoes that should come Thursday because I also got a annual park pass since I was doing that 50K at Pocahontas State Park. So now I can go to any of the state parks. It was like $80 for the year. So I was like, shoot, if I can just go every other week basically. But I'm going to try and go like weekly and, knock out like 8 to 14 miles each week, like actually in these trails. It's a lot hillier, different. I think it'll be good content for YouTube as well. So
I think you'd really like the Blue Ridge Parkway.
How far is
it?
that? It's up
I mean,
in
it's like
Charlottesville, right?
2-3 hours, probably closer to 3.
It's probably
but
where they do the Blue Ridge double marathon.
Might be, but it's like truly scenic, especially like closer to where Sarah lives, which is closer to 4 hours away. But I mean, very like mountain peaks all around you, like stone roads with like stone along the side, so it has like that look, very photogenic. So I don't know, it's always good views when you're riding to it.
Going, like, we
just
could
for a
make
day,
trip out of it,
or a weekend, whatever, long weekend. But I think that would be really cool, and plus it's not busy like traffic wise. The parkway is usually like you might pass one car in every 20 minutes.
Yeah,
You
but
know.
I'm looking forward to that and trying to just get a better feel for like what I should do with my training now that I can kind of like reset a little bit after doing these little like races and figure out how to actually continue to make progress and not kind of waste time and make like very slow progress, because I feel like just like with lifting, you could come in and just do whatever workout, and as a beginner you're going to continue to develop and grow and get stronger no matter what you do for the most part. And so I feel like that's where I've been with running, but now I really need to actually take a more specific approach with mixing in tempo runs and interval work and actually go through some like tough workouts. Not every workout can be cruising. So trying to actually take a little bit more of a measured approach with that, figure that out moving forward, and I'm excited for it though.
Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of dive more into the sport and really try to make more progress and take it a little bit more serious. See where we end up.
Should yeah.
Yeah.
So did Keith move to the beach so he wouldn't have to clean anymore?
Probably.
Oh, good. We gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
know. Put it
That,
on the market.
that son of yours.
They it was literally a week ago. That Sunday they told us like, hey, we
Pack your
think
shit.
we're actually gonna sell like somewhat soon, probably in the next like 2-3 months. Well, would that be okay with you? We're like, yeah, we can figure that out. It's no big deal. And then that Wednesday they let us know like, oh, we're actually selling next week. So yeah,
Actually,
Glad you
so
approved.
we've had a lot of stress the past week, Maddie and I, but we've trooped through, figured things out. We're all good.
yeah.
Are y'all moving to an apartment?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. It's right like across. Should be like across from like Home Depot area. So
Oh, nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
it'd be pretty close.
I'm trying to.
Yeah.
He'll be
I've-
right next to Chipotle and Chick-fil-A.
Hey, easy.
Close to that.
Sonic.
Yeah, yeah, it'd be closer.
Sonic's right there, right?
Yeah, but I don't really fuck with Sonic.
Fuck me.
That
I haven't had it
jujitsu
forever,
place.
I haven't had it forever. I
The
don't dislike
Jiu-jitsu
it.
place.
Oh yeah.
And vaping kicks ass.
Yeah,
That's
there's a
the other
Popeyes,
side
too.
over there. He's gonna be ripping fat clouds.
Yeah.
I've been obviously I've been over to Home Depot, that area. I just don't remember seeing apartments over there.
Green
I think
top.
they're behind like some woods and such.
Okay.
Like-
yeah,
like-
near Green Top.
like-
yeah.
I'll be like you, so I'll face in this direction. It's like Home Depot's over here, then there's the road,
Gotcha.
and then there's I think woods, and then the apartment. So
Oh,
I
that's
think it's
nice.
like right around the
Yeah.
way.
Cool.
Yeah.
I like it.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so that's a little update.
I bet you it'd be nice to get into. Well, not that y'all saw your parents that often there. I'm sure it'd be nice to get into your own spot, for a little bit.
Yeah.
And to like be able
100%,
to walk
yeah.
around naked if you want to.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do it now, I guess. Ain't nothing they haven't seen yet, right?
Yeah.
They
No,
birthed you.
it'll definitely be nice to have that privacy again, and yeah,
Good.
change, good
Nice.
change. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'm not moving or doing anything cool like that, but to each their own. I mean, I guess it'll eventually come a point where I might have to move down to the river.
Yeah, that's true.
If shit hits the fan.
It's funny with those river towns because my dad had one in Reedville.
Yeah,
and
I like
it's like
Reedville.
The only grocery store nearby was the Dollar General, which is kind of funny.
Damn.
That's kind of like where Sarah's from. All they have is the Dollar General, and then you have to drive 40 minutes to a Walmart.
Yeah.
45 to like a Walmart or anything, fast food, whatever. So if it's like snows, Dollar General. Hurricane, Dollar General.
Yeah.
Apocalypse,
it's kind of like,
Dollar General.
I can honestly say I wouldn't make it.
Yeah, well,
I'm out.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, almost like having no cell service in the mountains. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of quaint for like a weekend,
And
but
you're
I
like,
feel like if
"Fuck."
it's like every day, it's like, oh gosh, like off-brand Lucky Charms and then dollar store steak. Like,
Yeah. No, yeah. Dollar store steak.
yeah,
You get your bread that's like kind of expired
yeah.
and shit like that. But it is a fun like place to go for the weekend.
Yeah.
Not long. Anything else new with you?
Not really,
No?
honestly.
How's training been?
It's been pretty good. I feel like I don't know, like I kind of go back and forth from things, and I feel like sometimes you need to like kind of figure out where you fall between like training styles. I almost sometimes feel like grass is greener with certain things. Like I missed certain movements when I was having like a different structure before
Yeah.
of like pull-ups, leg extension. And then I started to go more into a different like program that had more volume or like a lot more like, sets of 20, 15, 12, 10 sort of
Mhm.
thing like that. And honestly, I just feel like maybe it's if I'm getting older, because that's how I really used to train when I first started lifting. But I honestly feel like it's like my joints by that top set are just like so fried from like, I don't know, just doing like, let's say it's like a cable pull down or even like a bench or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like when I get to that set of 10 or set of 8, I'm like, I don't really even have like a pump per se. I'm just like, my elbows hurt or other
Yeah.
things like that. So I have gone back to more of like the warm up and like working sets, which is like, I would say overall lower volume, but it just feels so good to me to like have those 2 failure sets at like 8 to 12 range and then a 15 to 20 range and then like 2 or 3 warm up sets leading up to that.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's like, I don't know, I just feel like the muscle is like perfectly primed, and then like once you hit those 1 or 2 sets, you're just like gassed, but like you feel good in your shoulders, your elbows, your knees, other things like that.
You
So-
like get in, get out type thing.
yeah, and then also, I honestly like, and maybe sometimes it's just going back and forth and kind of figuring out what works or like what doesn't work and why. But like, I have gone back to the push-pull legs because I was doing like chest and back, shoulder and arm, stuff like that for a little while. But I would just find like the workouts would be very long if I didn't like superset stuff to where like it would be like an hour and a half, 2 hours in, and it's like, oh, I still got like 4 more exercises almost.
Yeah.
Like hitting, 4 different ones for shoulders, 2 or 3, or I guess it would be like 3 for bicep, 3 for tricep, with like 4 or 5 sets each. This was not really something I had made up, but this was part of that like transformation challenge that I had signed up for. This is the program that they had thrown in. But honestly, I don't know. Maybe it's just me being a slacker sometimes, but I'm like, I just feel like I was making better gains, like feeling better, like workouts just going smoother when it's like push-pull leg and, it just tapers well into each thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it feels good to just hit like your chest and then taper off into lateral raises and then like triceps to finish out. Like, I don't know. It was just... I was just finding that like by the time I got to back, doing chest and back, I'm like completely gassed overall. Just because it was like bench 15, 12, 10, 8, 8, incline dumbbell 15, 12, 10, 8, 8, cable fly 20, 15, 12, 10, 10. And it's like by the time you're like halfway through, I'm like, whew, okay. So it is funny because sometimes like you do want to like push it, but I do feel like sometimes like lower volume, you just feel better. I feel like I can like PR a little bit more. Like, I don't know, I feel good at the end of the workout. Like you did put work in, but also like, I don't know, I'm not like completely like fatigued and like, you know what I mean?
I think less is more a lot of times. And you shouldn't feel, I feel like when you're starting lifting, you feel like every workout you should leave like just broken. And if you're not sore the next day, like,
to the ball.
Yeah.
But I feel like you want to, I don't know, you want to, in a scientific way, like minimum maximum recover, or no, minimum, it's, that Mike Israetel dude? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've heard the name.
Anyway, minimum amount of volume you got to do to stimulate growth. I can't think of the term he uses. I know he usually uses like maximum recoverable volume, but we're not really talking about what you recover from.
I can see where you can, I haven't overthought it for a while, but lately I have been thinking, because I'll follow other people that do the German volume training or 10 sets of 10, and it's like, fuck, am I doing it wrong because I'm leaving gas on the table, like fuel on the table, by not going all in on something like that? But then you see other people that instead of focusing on volume for the day, they're focusing on volume through the week. Like with push-pull legs, you're able to train everything at least twice.
Yeah.
But the GVT or something else, you might only train it once. If you're doing shoulders, then you're only training every muscle part once a week. Then the overall volume per week, though, is better that way than doing, shoulders, arms, chest, back, blah, blah. So lately, I've switched to push-pull legs, too, except 2-leg days. And I've been feeling good. Like I said, mentally I'm fucked, but body's been feeling pretty good.
Yeah. Well, it does, like you're just saying right now. Sometimes I see like some of Doug Miller's training, and I'm like, I just would be gassed with some of that stuff. It would maybe be like more so on a cardio level too.
Yeah.
Like it would just wear me out.
I think those are the workouts where you need like a fuck ton of pre-workout, because I remember I used to do a lot of high volume, and I would come in on like I think it was like pull workout. And so I'd be hitting like 5 exercises of back. 2 or 3 of those exercises would have 5 working sets. And then you do biceps, like 3 sets of that, or 3 exercises, I should say. And it would be like an hour, 40-minute workout. And I'd have to be taking like dust in the parking lot at 9 p.m. And I'd be wired for like till midnight.
Yeah.
So.
And I will say, like, with the whole like warm up and working set structure, it does feel weird to have like less overall sets. Like you feel like you're kind of leaving something behind. But I will say, like, it does feel really good to kind of just work on, like, priming, like, squeezing that muscle, working on your tension, and, like, what by the time you get up to that top point, you feel like you're, like, perfectly ready for it. But it's not just, like, almost like a powerlifting or strength-based thing to where it's like, okay, 135 on the bar. Okay, 225 on the bar. Okay, like, now it's 315 time. Like, you feel like you've kind of, like, paced your way up to it to where you feel like you're actually like ready to handle it.
It's like you're using the warm-ups not to just like work closer to the heavier weight, but actually prepare for the heavier weight.
Yeah.
Right?
You aren't mindlessly like just pushing the weight. Like
that's how I used to do warm-ups.
Me
like
too.
Years ago. I think we all used to.
All right, one plate.
Yeah.
All right, 225. All right.
Yeah.
And then you get to like your top set, and you're like, oh shit, I'm about to blow something out.
Yeah.
I still do that some days, but even if it doesn't matter how much I warm up.
So it is kind of funny, and maybe it's like the transition into being a boomer. But
Let's
I
slow
will
it
say,
down.
like, yeah, it's like something about being more methodical and like controlled. And even like when we were training in the garage, I don't know if you remember, Brock, but sometimes when we would get to our top sets of squats, like that would be when I would go the slowest on the way down. And I feel like sometimes like that way of training just feels very good to me because it's like the heaviest sets are the ones that you like exercise the most care, caution, or like, control with. Like I don't really like to like grip and rip with anything, to be honest, just because in my mind I'm like, okay, the slower I can do this, like the more the muscle is working to like keep it in control too. But
Yeah, I like that.
no, that's kind of the scoop lately. Honestly though, like I don't know, I go back and forth sometimes because like I really do want to get to like a certain level, but then I almost feel like I get motivated to get to that level when I feel like I've been bad. And I feel
So
like
you gotta like torture yourself.
Yeah, it's time to get to rock bottom is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
I get that. Like, is that like that does like cause a reaction to be like, all right, well, I need to tighten up. Let me get my shit in order. But then like you get in order for 2-3 weeks, and you're like, all right, I'm kind of done with this. I want to like, I can see where that comes into play with some things.
yeah.
But yeah,
No. It's definitely something like I've still been good as far as like sticking to stuff for the like challenge or whatever.
yeah.
But I don't know. I honestly just like I go back and forth sometimes of I feel like, do you ever feel almost like overstimulated or like overly filled with not knowledge, but like sometimes I just think, oh, well, let me try this. Let me do this. Let me like see how this feels. And then I feel like I move around so much that I don't really feel like I can stick in something long enough to like see a return on it. That's just my own fault.
I mean, do you feel like you truly want it? I mean, not to say that it's bad that you don't, but like deep down, do you want it? Or is it just like, oh, I just want to maybe see, I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying like you aren't doing it for the
Well,
good reasons, but like, are you?
I think the biggest thing sometimes is like, and I've been thinking about this a lot this year, like finding the why again, because like I can't just keep trying to continue on the original why of like first starting, you know? You have to kind of like have that evolve. Like maybe for Brock a couple years down the road with running, after he knows like interval training or like the fartlek or like other thing else that's like different methods of like getting you to your best, then at a certain point sometimes I feel like you start to wonder like, okay, well, I kind of know everything I need to do to get to where I need to be, but also it's like the drive to get to like the best you feel like you can has changed a little bit when you feel like you've improved, if that makes sense. So I feel like sometimes it's just kind of like finding a different reason to like continue trying to get better, because sometimes I just feel like it feels like it's just in perpetuity, and it's like, okay, well, I feel like I'm just checking a box basically.
Yeah.
So I don't know, it's tricky, and I don't know, I think that's just something like maybe I need to go to the float zone or whatever and just sit
Clear
in
your
that
mind.
pod for like an
Maybe
hour.
you need the DMT.
Yeah, that's true. I might have to hit a little Pompeii and just reflect.
Think about life.
So.
I like recently, and I love bodybuilding. We all love bodybuilding.
True.
You know, we love getting in there, getting that pump, seeing your body change like weekly or monthly. You know, however slow it is nowadays. But I love that the act of getting after it, pumping your muscles up, feeling your best during the workout, blah blah blah. But I realized that like some days it's more so I'm doing it because that's like what we're surrounded by all the time is bodybuilders, bodybuilding community, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And not that I don't want to be a bodybuilder.
I think the camera hit.
No, we're good.
It
sounded like it.
Yeah.
Sounded like
Sorry.
But not that I don't want to continue training like a bodybuilder, but I know that I'm not going to be one, so I'm not worried. I've sort of accepted in my head and like been okay with, hey, I don't have to be all in on bodybuilding, even though I want to just be my best, you know. And
Yeah.
it's hard to relay what I'm trying to say is
You're
like,
coming out of the bodybuilding closet. Just say it,
yeah,
you're a
I'm
CrossFitter.
coming out. I'm doing CrossFit, but you know, I don't get worried or overthink me not pushing myself to be like, all right, why am I not, you know, getting ready to compete, or why am I not trying to stay lean or to do this, or do a show or whatever. I'm okay if I lose a little bit of muscle. I just want to be like the best me I can be, and it's probably not going to be a bodybuilder. And not to say that like you aren't on the right path, but I've just realized that with myself, and that's why I asked you, like, do you feel like, we like to chase the bodybuilding, but is it the end all purpose? Like,
Yeah.
it isn't for me anymore. I thought it was, but it isn't.
Yeah,
we
talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
I feel like running's given me a different perspective, that there's different avenues that can give me like a sense of purpose or happiness, or that can revolve or fit the needs of my why, that don't rely purely in like the sport of bodybuilding, to where I can still enjoy weight training and do this and do that, but I have to almost like let go of like that identity that's wrapped around, posing routine or this certain ideal physique and things like that.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when you kind of fully wrap yourself around one sport, you're almost naturally inclined to compete and do this and do that, even if it doesn't really make you happy or fulfill like why you train in the first place.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I've been able to kind of reassess, like how important is it, like what kind of body do I want to have? How does it look? How does it feel? What is like, who is that ideal Brock, I guess, and figuring that out has been a little bit of a reflection over the past like few months, and figuring out how I should alter my training to fit that, like I still want to have, let's say, bigger legs, but I also realize that making them purely for bodybuilding or doing hack squats and leg extensions doesn't really meet my other needs for running. So I have to find things like lunges that are catering towards both and being more specific with these certain attributes of both sports. This is something I'm trying to do with programming now, and figure out what's what. But
I guess things evolve, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's like, when I first started lifting 10, 11, 12 years ago, it was, I want to get jacked, juicy, and tan,
Yeah.
And not that isn't like cool for me to like think about or train towards. Like, I'm still doing bro kind of split or push-pull legs, and focused on pump. But like, I just feel like I'm slowly evolving. Not saying I'm doing better than bodybuilding, but it's just like there's more to it than that now. And I don't know. There's an internal fire, I feel like, for me to just want to push myself in other aspects.
Yeah.
And that's why I just asked, because I felt that for myself. And I'm wondering, like, maybe since you are calling yourself slack, not saying that I am, but like, is it truly what you want to be doing, pushing yourself that far?
That's a good question. And I think, like, I go back and forth between, like, being fired up and then being, like, I don't want to say, like, dead, but just feeling like a new approach is needed.
Yeah.
And I wonder sometimes, like, man, if I wrestle with it that much, like, is it actually, like, the ultimate goal? But I also think, like, I almost feel like it's that picture of the guy, like, in the diamond mine. I'm like, I almost feel like I'm like right on the cusp of, like, just kind of coming out of the woods, basically, of figuring out, like, okay, like, what works for me? Like, what do I feel good doing? Like, what is my overall, like, to what end is this for?
Yeah.
And I almost feel like if I can find that more so, like, then it'll stick long term, and, like, you'll never kind of question it again for the most part. Who knows what the future holds, but, like, I don't know. I just think about this because I used to think about this a lot more with, like, photo stuff too, because I was like, oh, I could do this, I could do this, I could do this. And I've thought about a lot lately, like, when it comes to maybe figuring out, like, what to put on your portfolio or what equipment to get. It's like, all right, am I really going to, like, have a future as this, or is this more of like a hobby? Or, like, in this category, like, what would be the best return on investment of, like, weddings are a lot more lucrative than just, like, doing landscapes, or, like, so, like, why spend the time, the money on, like, stuff like landscapes if, like, that's just for fun? And also it's like it's more of a creative outlet overall. Does that make sense? So, like, I think with lifting, I still am trying to, like, force my original, like, vision or, like, reason why still right now, like, years later, after different, like, chapters. And I do feel like, if I can just kind of like really get inside of like the nitty gritty and kind of just repurpose things, like then it'll be much more, I don't know, just lucrative down the line. Does that make sense?
100%. I can see that. And there's no like wrong way of fitness. You know? I think it's what deep down feels right, what creates that fire every day that, helps you push through those times where you're feeling like, I don't feel like doing this, or I think I need to switch this up, or which sometimes those things are needed. I feel like you might need to adjust this or change the path a little bit. But I don't know. I just noticed that with myself, so I felt like I'd ask. Because I felt like maybe you're going through something like that.
Because I almost feel like it's this weird 50-50. I don't know if you ever feel this way, but like I definitely am not as lean as I used to be, or like have the density that I used to either. But it's almost like this morning, I can't remember what I was doing, maybe like leaning on the counter, but I looked down and I was like, I have like some fat like underneath my belly button, and I was like, it's almost a 50-50 of like, well, I know what I could do to get rid of that, and then almost the other side is like, well, fuck it, I'm like past my prime, like it's time to just embrace it. Back in high school I used to I don't know. It's just this weird feeling to where it's like, all right, well, if I want to like change, I just have to like fully commit into that. But I feel like
it's a fork in the road.
I don't know how to like secure that. Is that a daily thing? Is that like do I write something on the wall and look at it? Like, I don't know. I don't know sometimes like what creates that drive. Like I try to force it in different ways and see what sticks, but I still feel like I haven't found that like one thing yet, So.
Well, what's worked for me is, and not to say like for me to stay lean or leaner or get leaner. It's just like for me to like try and stay on a path is just almost having an inner self look, almost like looking at a mirror, but like just thinking to yourself, like, Austin, would you be happy? Like, or are you happy first off? And then would you be happy looking at somebody like you, giving yourself the excuses you do, or like, just giving yourself the easy way out, or whatever, if you truly wanted it. If you don't want it, realize it and accept it and just, not take it so serious or be so hard on yourself and just move on to something that, actually fires you up. But who knows? Nobody, you don't know it all. You got to try and taste and test stuff to figure out if it truly works for you. But I don't know. I feel like, not that I'm perfect or I've figured everything out, but I get more defined feelings in my gut recently over the past couple months to feel like, damn, this. I feel like at least I'm getting warmer.
I just feel like
I'm getting warmer.
It's kind of like the whole thing. I feel like even before I ran, I would feel this way. Maybe you guys can relate in some kind of fashion, to where it's like when you're thinking about going for that run, like, and you're debating like whether you want to go and do it, or it could be a workout, it could be whatever, something difficult. It's like, you're having that conflict and that debate with yourself, but then, like, I always think about how will I feel if I look at the clock, I'm like, damn, could do a run, could just go home. I just know how if I go home now, I'm going to feel guilty and feel like shit because I know I just, like, skipped on that. Maybe not everyone feels that way, but, like, I know what that, like, emotional feeling is going to be knowing I'm sitting at home when I was supposed to do this or something.
Yeah.
And I feel like I don't want to feel that negative emotion, that negative feeling. So maybe it's like a false, maybe that's like obsessive for some people. But even in like a different
You need to love
sense,
yourself.
I know. I need a little bit of self-love. I need to be proud for getting out of the bed today. But another thing, too, is it's almost like what version of you do you want to be? I know we talked about like the whole parallel universe thing before and how there's different versions of you. And it's like what version of Brock or what version of Austin, what version of Griffin do you want to be? And it's like, like you said, like having that reflection and looking at yourself and thinking, like, do I want to be the Brock that skipped this workout, or be, the Austin that skipped this meal, or Griffin that skipped mowing the grass?
Yeah, that's true. I
like,
thought of
You
just
paid tenfold for
pouring
that.
the gas that was in the mower, just light it up.
Well, now what you need to do is pour the gas on the ground and just burn the grass down.
Yeah.
You ain't got to cut it no more.
But sometimes it's just reflecting on, like, you can either go route A or route B, and like which person would you rather be? The person that always chooses A, or the person that always chooses B?
I do. When you say that, like regret, that moment of regret when you're like self-reflect.
But you never regret doing it usually.
I never do, but I can definitely relate that to food because not that I eat like this at all anymore, or very rarely, but like, let's say I'm like, oh, I got food in the fridge, but I'm going to go get a DiGiorno or something like that. And I eat the whole fucking thing, feel great while I'm doing it, but then I look back, I'm like, you fat piece of shit.
Yeah.
Not to say that like I have some body dysmorphia. Maybe I do, but that's my problem to deal with. I just know that I'm like, damn, I know I could have avoided that just by a simple decision saying no to myself, you know. And I find that a lot with my clients. They'll bring up an excuse like, "Oh, my family was eating, so I had like, what am I? They've been eating out every night. What am I supposed to do?" Say no.
Yeah.
Don't do it. And it's easier said than done sometimes, but it is a simple. Most of the time, it is a yes or a no, and you get to choose. Nobody puts a gun to your head. You know, it's what's going to move it forward, pretty much.
Yeah.
But yeah. It's all weird, and like I said, there's no like right way to do it all. It's, I don't know, you got to find some intuition a little bit, have some experience with it.
Yeah.
First off, because a lot of people that are younger, they're so wish-washy. Whichever way the wind blows, they're fucking. Oh, I'm gonna compete. Oh, now I'm just bulking. Oh, now I'm cutting. You know, it's like, fuck.
I'm digging SARMs.
Yeah, it's like just give it some time.
I don't know if y'all ever feel this way. Maybe we've talked about this in varying degrees before, but it's almost like you have this very extreme mentality maybe when you first start out. Like I used to think when I was like in my maybe second or third year of lifting of like, oh, well, I'm not going to be able to do certain types of like vacations because I won't be able to like work out when I'm gone.
I'd pack all my shit with me on vacations and go work out on vacation. The first few years.
Yeah. And I feel like even with certain things too, like maybe it's also like not having that much money, but like, you know, if you're tired, like, oh, well, you know, you still go lift if it's cold, this and that. Whereas now I almost feel like, you know, I can afford like the AirPods or like buy the pre-workout or like it's almost like it's so squishy now of like if I don't have all the variables in line, it's like, well, it's not going to work for me today. Like I know I could do better if I have all the variables checked. Like it's just annoying sometimes to feel like, you know, what is the saying of like, it's like something off the fat, like I forget exactly, but like, yeah, or like you kind of sit on your laurels a little bit to where like now I feel like I have a more like moderate or measured like approach to it of like realizing like, oh, you know, one bad meal, like it's not that big of a deal sort of thing, but it's like, no,
you know what
it's not the right attitude.
We'll sign Griffin up for Goggins camp, and we'll say 6 weeks, no back out. just send him into the woods.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, the thing with Goggins, my thought about him is, which I think he's very good, but I think like, you know, if you have this kind of hard discipline and hard mindset, it's like if you wanted to be a great fighter, you could be a great fighter. If you wanted to be a great runner, you could be a great runner. A great bodybuilder, you could, but you do none of it. You just are motivating guy. And it's like, I just feel like it's not applied towards anything.
Because I would say that to be a truly elite of these certain things, it's a little bit more than purely just training. And he has ran the Moab 240. He also holds the record for pull-ups within 24 hours. So he's pushed himself to these things. I know what you mean, though.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't specialize
in these
things.
He's not an elite, like a name like a Lance Armstrong.
Yeah.
I don't know why
he needs to beat the Greg
name.
Plitt record.
Yeah.
To be truly elite.
To be big. Yeah.
How many push-ups can you do on the railroads?
Yeah.
Before the
trains come.
But along those lines,
you better hit 100.
I do like following people that are doing rather than just, you know, the motivational speakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I get that too.
I don't know.
It's okay. He's your arch nemesis.
Yeah.
Death to Goggins.
Dinkelberg.
God damn it. That motherfucker.
So.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's definitely like
Cancel the cameo that we got for him.
Damn.
Call it off right now. Yeah, tell him.
That would be pretty cool. What'd you
Hey,
get
Griffin,
him to read off?
You motherfucker.
He'd kill my ass,
I don't know.
too. So, yeah, I'm not talking.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I would laugh the whole time.
Him and Jocko
I'd be
come
laughing
in.
the whole fucking time.
They say, first you got to drink this. Like, no.
Got to get a Jocko fuel in.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's hard out here, but you know, like I said, lately I've been following my gut, what feels right. Maybe it's not always going to be the long-term path, but it'll at least get me moving forward until something evolves. I think that's what most people need to do, you know. But who am I? Joe
It's
Schmo.
true.
I'm about half dead.
Just another loser.
I am semi-amateur at best.
Semi-pro business owner.
Yeah.
Weenie Hut Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Might wrap up the show.
Yeah, let's wrap it up. We didn't put any cards, which is okay. I don't have any.
Overcome. That's the card.
Yeah, that is
Got
the
three
card.
of them, one for each.
Thursday,
Yeah.
6 p.m. sharp.
This Thursday
Might sell out.
might.
Might sell out.
And if you order, we got like the first at least 100. I think I ordered 50-50. So first 100 overcome are going to be getting a cool custom box. That'll be a nice experience when you open it up.
If you order Overcome by
Yeah,
itself.
if you order Overcome by itself. And that'll be any Overcome
Or if
for
you
real,
get
for
a
real.
stack.
Yeah,
you'll
stack
get a cool
packs.
ass box, too.
Stack pack
packs.
gets a unique box as well. Cool experience. Be able to open that up and see it.
And share it.
share it.
Gram.
But that being said, we're going to close this out. Hopefully you're out there when this comes out in the next few days. Y'all are killing it, moving it forward, and we'll see y'all next week. We're out.
Peace.